I'm gonna show you how to build the ultimate Xbox setup. Let's discuss. What's up guys, welcome to another edition of Xbox Ready. When we first launched Xbox Ready this time last year, I had no idea how it was gonna go. And I've been so lucky to see the channel go from a couple of hundred subscribers to almost 90,000. The Xbox Ready community is amazing. I love it when you guys reach out to me on Twitter, Xbox Live. I'm sorry I don't get to as many comments on YouTube as possible, but help me grow it even more. Help me get to 100,000. If you aren't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, set your notifications to all so you can stay Xbox ready. So the holiday season is practically upon us, so I'm gonna make some suggestions, plant some seeds if you are looking to upgrade your Xbox experience or buy some gifts for a gamer that you love. If you're interested in checking out any of the things I talked about in this video, I have all the links down in the description below so you can check them out. So first up, let's talk about my console. Of course, you cannot have a video game station without a place to play video games. Now, me personally, you all know that I have an Xbox Series X. I've talked about this console at length in many other videos. There are a lot of things that I really enjoy about it. I spend hours and hours, if not every day, every other day, playing on this thing. I have certainly gotten a lot of mileage and value out of it, even just in the year and a half that I've owned it. Now, from my understanding, the Xbox Series X is becoming more available, although I'm still questioning that. There are people that reach out to me, they're like, I see it all the time. I walk into Walmart, see a bunch of Series X consoles, and then there are other people who are like, I haven't been able to get my hands on one, man. What do I do? So if you, for whatever reason, can't find one or you're not interested in one, the Xbox Series S is a console that I highly recommend. Sure, it's not as powerful as the Series X, but it has a lot of those same features like the solid state drive and quick resume that make my Series X experience very smooth. You will notice a graphical downgrade, like if you were sitting there comparing the Series X version versus the Series S version right there, but I feel like most of the time it's pretty good, pretty solid. A lot of games hover around like 1080p to 1440p, and we're starting to see more games and more developers offer a 60 FPS mode, a performance mode for the Series S, like we just saw it with Cyberpunk. We see it with a lot of the Xbox first-party games. So I feel like the Series S is a solid addition to your at-home Xbox experience. It's also a lot more portable too if you want to take it off of wherever, your living room, your desk, bring it with you to a friend's house, travel with it. If I was balling out of control, making a ton of money, I would consider also getting a PC or a gaming laptop to go with the setup as well. Now, me personally, I just got a gaming laptop. First of all, when you have a PC, it fills in the content gaps in my Game Pass Ultimate subscription. There are some games available on PC Game Pass that are not available on console Game Pass. So having this gaming laptop gives me the opportunity to play games like Age of Empires 4 on PC Game Pass that's included in my Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription. Obviously, there's a lot of utility for streaming as well if you have a laptop or a desktop available with you. So now that you have your console, you're gonna need something to put it on, man. You're gonna need some sort of situation to stack that baby on because you don't want it on the ground, right? Now, me personally, I game at a desk. You've seen my desk in a lot of previous Xbox Ready videos, and my desk is this one right here, the QB L-shaped desk. It is just this brand from Amazon. Right now it sits at around $100. Now, me personally, I really like the L-shaped desk. It's not the biggest, or like the panels aren't the widest, I guess, but it kind of makes me feel like I'm sitting down in a command center or something, or I'm sitting down in like my personal like bat cave, bat computer situation. And because it has that 180 degrees, that kind of L shape to it, I could be playing a game and then have another screen up like my laptop and do stuff on my laptop. The L shape also gives me a ton of room for not only my consoles, but all of my other stuff, all of my other accessories, decorations, charging stands. They also have a couple of other L-shaped options on Amazon as well. Like this one, the Homal L-shaped desk for like $84, something like that. If you're not into the L shape, if you don't have room for it, whatever, it's an awkward shape for your space. Obviously, there are a ton of just straight up gaming desk. If I had a little extra cash, a little bit more money, I would definitely spring for a standing desk, one that has an electric motor that you can adjust the height. I have a couple linked down in the description if you want to check those out. I don't know if this is just me or if other people can relate to this, but when I'm gaming for a long period of time, my posture just goes down the gutter, man. I'll stand up after a long period of time and I'm just suddenly like a gremlin all of a sudden. I don't know. I feel like having that option would be nice. Now that you have a desk, now that you have a console, what are you gonna play your video games on? I have a monitor, like I said, I game at a desk. I have this one. It's the Asus VG289Q1A. So when I was looking at monitors, I was looking to try to save a little bit of money. This one's kind of in the mid-range. It ranges from like $280 on some websites to $300, hovers around there. And at the time when I was looking, I was like, okay, for the price, this monitor has a lot of features that I like. It offers UHD 4K resolution. It goes up to 60 FPS, which, you know, it's not the best in the market, but that's where a lot of Xbox Series X games cap out. A lot of games, they have a quality mode, which is like true 4K and then 30 FPS, and then a performance mode, which is like upscaled 4K and then 60 FPS. I was like, okay, so that is like, this monitor will handle most Series X games just perfectly fine. This monitor also has VSync or FreeSync, which is really helpful for whenever there's variations in your frame rate to prevent screen tearing. It also has HDR10 and a ton of different options when it comes to the visuals. The only thing that I feel like is missing, I would like this monitor to have a USB port, but other than that, I really enjoy it. If I was balling out of control, again, if I had a ton of money, I would spring for a monitor that has HDMI 2.1 support. At the time when I was looking, minimum for those types of monitors was like $800. I was like, oh, that's just a little bit out of my price range. The Xbox Series X is capable of 4K and 120 FPS, but only with HDMI 2.1. So if you wanted to get ahead of it, if you wanted to future-proof your monitor or Xbox Series X gaming experience or Series S, you could spring for an HDMI 2.1 monitor now. If I was gaming on a TV setup, if I had like a living room, den situation, man cave, I would definitely go for something like this, an LG OLED. I feel like a lot of these more cinematic games would be better experienced on an OLED TV versus my monitor. There's also models like this, like the 48-inch C1 by LG, which you could easily use as a computer monitor. It's not the biggest thing. Right now, that C1 is on sale for $900, which is pretty dang good considering, like I was just saying, some of these HDMI 2.1 monitors can cost you up to like $1,000. Next up, let's talk about microphones. This is especially important if you want to get into streaming at all. I have a Blue Yeti Pro. You've probably seen it in a lot of my past videos. I record a lot of videos with this mic. It looks exactly like the classic Blue Yeti that we've seen a lot with these other streamers and other YouTubers, but it's technically the Pro version. Now, this is kind of a weird situation where the Yeti Pro is like the ballin' out of control version of the USB mic. I got this as a gift years ago when I first got into voice acting, and I gotta say, I don't think that you need to get the Pro model of this mic. It is nice, but there's not much of a quality difference unless you listen really closely between this mic and the other entry-level mics that Blue offers, like the regular Yeti, like the Yeti Nano, even a more budget-friendly mic like the Snowball. Like, it's not, I feel like, worth almost $300 when you can get a $100 USB mic and have similar results. Audio-Technica also has a line of USB mics I'll have linked down in the description as well that I know a lot of other voice actors use. And of course, the popular mic right now, the item right now, is the HyperX Quadcast mic. They have a couple of different models. They have one that's just the one color, and then they have the Quadcast S, which is the RGB effect. You can change it, you can like play with the coloring and all that. Now, a lot of these mics, they have desk stands, so if you're gaming at a desk, you can put it right there, talking to the mic, you'll be totally fine. But what you'll notice is that any vibration, whether you knock the desk, or maybe if you game with a mouse and keyboard, it's gonna pick up all those vibrations and then send them into your mic's capsule. And that's why I have a mic boom arm. Again, you've probably seen it in my videos. It's a thing that sticks out from my desk and then it hovers right here so I can talk to the mic. This prevents those vibrations I was talking about from getting into your audio because they have a longer way to travel in order to get to your mic. And at the end, there's a shock mount that further reduces those vibrations because in the middle of this thing, and it's kind of got all these bungee cords keeping it suspended. The HyperX mic actually has a shock mount built into it out the box, which I think is pretty cool. This is mostly for people who are interested in streaming because there is no clear-cut way of hooking up a USB mic to your Xbox console. I say that because yes, technically there is a way, but you have to get a controller adapter, you have to get an audio splitter, you have to get a 3.5mm male-to-male cable, and you have to run it all through your controller, which is like, I don't know. I wish they would come out with an update that would just let you plug a USB mic in and use it natively. Now let's talk about controllers. I am lucky enough to have a couple of different options. I have the regular old Series Series X, Series S controller. Of course, that's what comes straight out of the box, old faithful. I have a couple of other different controllers, the Ultimate Wired Xbox controller from 8BitDo or 8BitDo. Now this controller impressed me because it was super cheap. I wanna say it was like 40 bucks when I picked it up, and it packs a lot of customization options. It has 2 back paddles, so not the official Pro 4 back paddles to remap all of your buttons, but through the app they have some nifty features that you can work around to really customize your experience. It is wired, but again, for me that is not a problem because I game at my desk. It might not be ideal for you if you are on a couch and you're in a living room. In that situation, you might want to go wireless, but for me, it was kind of nice not having to fuss with batteries and charge. Just plug in and play with your controller like the old days. I also have a couple of Elite Series 2 controllers. I have a black one and I have the new white one that they just came out with, the Core. Now, since I got the white Elite Series 2, I've played with it practically every day. And for me personally, it performs great. It's been holding up great. I like how I can change the color of my guide button. I know that's very small, but I was very excited when they added that update in. And it's very convenient because I also have the charging case for it. So whenever I'm done, boom, I smack it in its case and it's ready to go. I will say though, I've been most impressed by the battery life. I haven't had a single need to charge that controller since I got it like, what, 4 or 5 weeks ago at this point? And also since the case is covered, it's kind of like a little clam that you could put your controller in, put it back, zip it up. It protects the controller from dust, and I have a dusty apartment. I don't know what to tell you. I have an air purifier. I have freaking all sorts of filters on my vents, change them frequently. But I think it's nice having that extra layer of protection. Now, I know a lot of people have some trust issues with the Elite Series 2, so I'm not gonna go and be like, buy one right now. But I think it's important to note that I have been enjoying my experience. I have had no issues thus far. I will come clean and say when I do have an issue, if a bumper stops working, if I have some sort of catastrophic failure. You have my word on that. Next up, let's talk about headsets. Now, I just started gaming with headsets not too long ago. Modern games these days, they really go hard with their sound design, and having that like stereo 3D experience with the headphones, it's been awesome. Me personally, I have the Xbox Stereo wireless headset, and when I first got this headset, I was really high on it. I really enjoyed it, but lately the sound has been kind of like, I don't really know how to explain it. You know when you're playing a game and visually you see artifacts, right? You see like kind of blockiness, especially if you're like streaming a game or playing online, something like that. I kind of have that experience, but with the audio, and I don't know if it's like a connection issue, I don't know if it's like a battery issue, but sometimes I'll have that artifacting when like crucial cutscenes in the game. I do appreciate that I can connect this headset to multiple devices. So before Discord voice chat came on over to Xbox consoles, I could have my headset connected to my laptop, my phone, and also the game, and I could use the left ear to kind of mix that audio so I can hear the game but hear my friends at the same time. It's also super comfy. I have really big ears, so some headsets really cramp and hurt after a while. Not this one. I can wear these things for hours and not even feel it. When I was at first shopping around for a headset, Jimmy actually recommended me the Arctis 7X from SteelSeries. And looking back on it, I kind of wish that I just spent the extra 50 bucks and got that headset instead. They make a special one for Xbox, and it seems to be very highly reviewed. I feel like at one point the Arctis 7X had headsets that could connect to your PS5 and your Xbox Series X if you had that. I don't know if that's changed because now they do have official Xbox ones, they have official PlayStation ones. But if that's true, I doubly wish that I had that headset instead of going for the Xbox wireless one. Now, the Xbox wireless headset isn't bad, it's just that I'm a little frustrated with it at some points. The microphone quality as well is like, you know, it's not the worst, but it's not the best. I guess for the money, it's pretty fair. Now that you've covered all the necessities, the console, the desk, the monitor, the TV, the headphones, the controllers, now you can focus on the fun stuff. You can put your personal flair in your gaming setup. Me personally, I'm a big fan of anime, and you'll see that in my setup. I have a Funko Pop figure of Aizawa from My Hero Academia, aka Eraserhead. And again, you've probably seen him in the background of some of my videos. I also have a couple of RGB light situations. You can't have a gaming setup without an RGB flair to it. I have this Wings of Freedom RGB light stand. My anime fans, viewers who watch Attack on Titan will recognize this this instantly. This is on Amazon right now for I think like 17, 18 bucks. I was impressed by the range of colors that this thing offers. It doesn't have as many different modes as other RGB lights. It kind of has like a fast rainbow change and then like a slow fade. But overall, I think it looks pretty clean. I also have RGB light bars too. I didn't want to connect anything to my monitor. I didn't want to put anything on my walls. So these are perfect for me because they go on a stand to the left and right of my monitor and I control them through the app. A couple of these will also run you about like 30 bucks on Amazon, I'm pretty sure. And of course, I have my notorious Xbox Ready neon sign. Now this was a gift from my wife. And let's just be honest, this thing is sick, man. I was a very happy birthday boy that day. It also comes with a remote so I can control the brightness so it's not like blinding me at night. And it has a couple of different modes like flicker modes. I don't really use that often, but last but not least, for all my streamers out there, I'm gonna give a quick rundown of what I have. I of course have an Elgato capture card, an HD60S Plus. There are nicer capture cards that Elgato offers, but I was like, you know what, 60 FPS, 1080p for me, that should be enough. For my camera, I have a Logitech C920X. There are nicer cameras, but this one for my price range was perfect for me. If I was to do it all over again, I would spring for like the official Elgato one. Might as well keep some consistency with the brand, like I already have the graphics card. This camera quality is supposed to be really good, and some of them even have built-in ring lights on them, which I think is really awesome. If you are gonna be streaming and appearing on camera, it is important to have good lighting. Now, I just have a standard crappy ring light that has a phone stand on it that I put behind my monitor and then just shines light from above to keep my face well lit. It's also what I use to make my videos when I'm at home, when I'm filming in front of that desk. I literally put that stand on my bed, literally on my bed. People think I have like some fancy setup or something. No, it's just my iPhone on my bed and then I'm like talking to my microphone like this. If I was to do it all over again, I'd probably shift away from ring lights, which is better for like, you know, filming TikToks on your phone and it's like the light and your phone is in the middle, light goes around it. I would probably shift to key lights instead, which is more of like a light panel. Elgato sells those too. They're available on Amazon, Best Buy, wherever. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening to my suggestions for the ultimate Xbox experience. If you're interested in checking out any of the things I talked about in this video, I have all the links down in the description below so you can check them out.